Hello my feminine queens. I wanted to make a really quick video but important video about the difference between being nice and being kind. And this was inspired by a conversation that I had with my best friend. I realized that a lot of people get the two confused, and oftentimes we use these words synonymously, but they are not. And I really want to explain the differences to you because being nice is something that I was falling into, thinking that I was being and embodying healthy feminine energy, because feminines are loving, they are nurturing, and that niceness I was giving away to everybody, thinking that that was a good thing. But this is a trauma response. This comes from wounded energy, and I'm going to link a video right here talking about the differences between divine, toxic, and wounded feminine energy, so this can give you a little bit of a better picture on what energy that you fall into. And being nice is a trauma response. It is when you are avoiding conflict, avoiding abuse, and trying to keep yourself safe. So you develop this persona of the nice girl, the sweet girl, the good girl, and that is to protect yourself, to keep yourself safe. Being nice is about people pleasing. Being nice is about avoiding that conflict, not wanting to ruffle any feathers, so you're keeping the peace. And what this says is, you are more important than me. Your feelings matter more than mine. So I am going to suppress what I am feeling, what I am thinking, what I want to say in order to make sure that you are happy. Because if you are happy, we're good here. And as you can hear me say this, that's not a good thing. We don't want to be nice to everybody, because this is someone who is lacking boundaries. This is someone who is wearing a mask and shape-shifting in order to avoid feeling uncomfortable, to avoid that conflict. So someone who is kind is someone who is honest, living in integrity, someone who is not afraid to set healthy boundaries, and who is able to have tough conversations. And this is really important because that is honoring yourself first. That is saying that I do matter. How I am feeling matters. And that does not mean that when you set boundaries that you are being rude, although it can be perceived that way because you are coming in with strength. You are not coming in like, would it be okay if maybe you didn't say that to me anymore? It's coming in and saying, I don't enjoy being spoken to like that, and I am not going to tolerate someone who speaks to me and sees it as okay. And that's it. You don't have to be rude. You don't have to be a beat. You don't have to swear at anybody. You don't have to yell. You just clearly communicate what you are experiencing that you do not like. And that should be normal, but we have been programmed to believe that it's better to either not say anything at all or approach it like a little timid mouse. And feminines are strong. We are really strong beings, and it is okay, and it should be more normalized to set boundaries. I want to give a personal example so that this can hit home a little bit more easy for you. So I live in Costa Rica, and I am a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, fair-skinned woman, and that is the opposite of the typical woman that lives here in Costa Rica. So because of that, I get a lot of attention. And before, when I was being the nice girl, I did not have my boundaries set, so I did not have that protective layer around me. I had cracks and holes in my energetic field, which was allowing me to freely give out my precious life force energy and allowing others to reach in and grab it without my permission, because I did not have a boundary set. So what this can look like is me walking down the street and getting catcalled by every man and feeling like I need to acknowledge them, or I am being rude, that I am not being the person that I want to be. I'm coming across as a bee, and I don't want to be that. So I have to acknowledge them, I have to smile, I have to say hello, even if I'm uncomfortable. No. No. So what I do now when I leave my house is I set my energetic bubble, and I say in my head that I am not a match to that energy anymore. I only attract people who respect me. And the best example that I can give of this is there's an old man that lives on my street. And by old, I mean like grandpa age. And here people are very friendly. It's a lot different than Canada. Yes, Canadians are friendly, but everyone says hello to you. They say hello in different ways, and normally this is okay. But when a man is calling you a name who you do not know, that is when it's inappropriate. So I was walking home and this old man was always saying, "Hola preciosa, hola linda, hola guapa, hola mi amor," and it was making me really uncomfortable because I don't know you. No te conozco. And so it was really uncomfortable for him to be saying these kinds of things to me. Because I was in that nice girl energy, I would always say hello back, even though he was making me uncomfortable. And in that interaction, in that simple short interaction, he is taking my feminine energy and it gives him energy, it gives him life, that life force energy. And I would leave feeling slightly depleted. So take note of how you are feeling after certain interactions. Are you feeling drained? Do you feel exhausted? Are you yawning all the time? Do you have pain in your body, especially in your sacral, in your womb space? Paying attention, because your body is always speaking to you. Hey, the energy's off here. Stop giving it away, and you're going to know to put that energetic boundary in place. So because I am stating that I am no longer a match for this type of interaction and this type of energy exchange, that man no longer says hello to me. It is like we live in different realities, and we do, because we are not on the same energetic frequency. And this is really important, because when you have that energy boundary in place, there are people who are vibrating and operating in a lower vibrational frequency who before were pulling that energy from you and bumping themselves up. That is not the way this works. You got to do the inner work in order to raise up, just like I have. So you cannot freely have what I have worked really hard to have. That came with a very expensive cost. So remembering that I am in this energetic frequency, and if you want to have any interaction, any kind of access to me, you need to be on the same level. And this is not rude, this is a boundary. So I gave an example to my friend that I want to read to you just through text. Kind is knowing everyone is doing their best, but not allowing everyone in your life. It's like toxic ex-boyfriends of mine. I know that they had a lot of trauma. I know that they had a very hard upbringing, but that does not mean I can empathize with that and know that that sucks and that it's really hard to fight the devil every day. But that does not mean that I allow them into my life, because their chaos became my chaos, and I don't need to do that. I can set that boundary. I can send them love and wish them well and keep my peace. So nice is knowing someone is not being nice to you, but sticking around because they need you. And this is where that wounded energy comes in, of that savior-like complex, feeling like if you leave somebody, if you keep your standards and raise your standards and raise your vibration, that that person is going to suffer without you. Maybe they will, but that is a choice. What their reality is up to them. You cannot change that. So if they are choosing to be in a lower vibrational frequency, that's okay. That's okay, because not everyone's going to be on the path that you're on, and that is okay. Some people come into our life for a season, some people come into our life for a chapter, some people come into our life for a book, and some people come into our life for the whole series. But recognizing that it's okay to let people go, because you are important. Stop being nice and start being kind.